Hey everyone, Ittarra here, bringing you to the next part of Warframe 101. When we last left off, I had shown you the best early grind spots for Nerodes, Orkin cells, neural sensors, as well as credits. Now on that comment, yeah, because that's how things work. I got a comment from somebody named Bumblewave, and he or she would like a Prime Warframe drop location and tips video. Now, what I can do, because Prime Warframes and Prime weapons and everything else actually, they like to go into the vault when new access comes out and everything else, and every 3 months there's new things brought in, brought out, and everything else. What I'm going to show you right here are the best and easiest Warframes as well as Prime weapons to actually start off with. So that way you guys can start off on the right foot. Now for every other War Prime part and everything else, I can't cover it all in one video without taking up an immense amount of your time and also editing it every single time that something new comes out. In the description below, there will be 2 different links that can show you where you can get everything. One is called Primarch Guides, which is a single picture, like a single page that just has everything listed, and one that my friend Hannah loves to use called Hubframe. Hubframe also has a Void Trader manifest, so if you're ever curious about what he might bring, or as well as you want to get hype about something that he is going to bring, it'll be there in the description below. Also, Hubframe is more of a search tool rather than just, a quick scroll. Alright. Now, on to the primes. We're going to be doing these in alphabetical order for the least amount of effort, most amount of profit, and so on and so forth. And by profit, I mean, hey, you feel good about yourself. Alright, so we're going to start with, I want to make sure I'm doing this right, the Breton Prime. Now, the Breton Prime, base price, 20 to 25 plat. I'm going to go price, drops, and then, excuse me. Sorry. Freaking hair. Alright. We're going to go base price for platinum to buy it, and then we're going to go to the actual drops, and then why you should actually use it. For the Breton Prime, it's going to run you about 20 to 25 plat. Now, the Breton Prime, hang on. It's on this page. Okay. The Breton Prime drops from the blueprint drops from Tower 2 Mobile Defense. The stock drops from Tower 2 Defense Rotation C. I will explain rotations in just a second. And the receiver drops from T3 Defense Rotation C, and the barrel from Tower 1 Mobile Defense. Whenever you hear or see Rotation C or B or A, whichever, that actually is increments of 5. The rotation in Warframe goes AA, B, C. So it goes 5, 10, 15, 20. AA, B, C. So if you hear me say rotation C, that means 20 minutes or 20 waves. Now, I'm going to repeat this one more time so that way you guys have an example. Blueprint is Tower 2 Mobile Defense. Stock is Tower 2 Defense Rotation C or 20 waves. Receiver is Tower 3 Defense Rotation C, 20 waves. And the barrel is Tower 1 Mobile Defense. Again, you can get this for 20 to 25 plat from the trade chat, so if you don't feel like actually farming it, it's right there for you. Now, the reason why the Breton Prime is one of the better starter primes, I was going to say Warframes, I'll do Warframes at the end, is because of the fact that it has an amazing clip size at 75, the status is already 20% base, and the critical chance is 10%. The only thing that actually rivals this assault rifle is the Carrick Wraith, which you can only buy through trade, or if it comes back in sortie missions. The Breton Prime is one of the better assault rifles to actually get, especially considering how cheap it really is. Now, on to the next one. The Breton Prime. Now, the reason why, of course, if you look at the stats, the Breton Prime kind of falls short. However, the Breton Prime can be bought for the same price as the Breton, 20 to 25. You can also probably get it for maybe around 15 if you're lucky, because you can't get rid of the damn thing. You can probably get it for dirt cheap. I mean, it's like, hey, Prime's here, I got the Burston. What? Alright. Now, the Burston itself drops from Blueprint is Tower 2 Mobile Defense. The stock is Tower 1 Exterminate, or Tower 1 Survival Rotation C, 20 minutes. The receiver drops from Tower 2 Survival Rotation C, 20 minutes. And the barrel is from Tower 3 Capture, or Tower 1 Survival Rotation A. Now, the reason why I say a Tower 3 Capture is not that big of a deal is because it's from point A to point B. You get the guy, you get out, you all have a good time. And not only that, but T3 Caps drop some really good stuff. My opinion about the Burston. This weapon is astounding when you're first starting off because of the fact that it has slash procs. It might look a little bit weaker than the Breton, but to make up for it, there is an actual affinity bomb weapon mod for the Breton Prime that I believe increases its burst fire rate by 80%. Now, I know you're wondering, what the hell's an affinity bomb? An affinity bomb is a AoE wave that just damages everything, pretty much with whatever's in your field of view. So when you're using the Burst in Prime, you can actually have an affinity bomb that will cascade damage everywhere. It's an amazing starting weapon for as low of a price as it has, as well as the fact that to have an affinity bomb at that early of a mastery rank is broken. It will make you feel amazing when all of a sudden you're just surrounded by Grenier or Corpus and then dead. Alright, on to the next one. Let's see here. Dakra, you're vaulted. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything because I can miss the shinies. Let's see here. Nope, not Fang Prime. Fang Prime is not that great. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's here. A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Ah, here it is. Hiku. I had to speed read the alphabet. Hiku Prime, one of three secondaries that are actually primes. Now, the other one that you saw prior was the Bronco Prime. Pain in the ass, not worth it, believe me. Now, the Hiku Prime is a amazing starter secondary because of one reason and one reason only. It's silent. So if you're wanting to go for the whole stealth gameplay, this is what you want. The price for the Hiku Prime is a flat 20 plat. Just flat. You can probably get it for 15, but if anybody tries to sell for more, I would say maybe 25 would be stretching it. But just for safety's sake, go 20 plat flat. Hey, that rhymed. All right. Now, the Hiku Blueprint. We're going to start off with this. Sorry if you hear some rustling. That's just my notes. Hiku Blueprint drops from Tower 2 Sabotage, Tower 2 Survival Rotation B, 15 minutes. Pouch is Tower 2 Sabotage, and the stars is Tower 1 Defense Rotation C, or Tower 1 Sabotage. Personally, my opinion, go for the sabotages. And the reason for that is because there will always be 4 reward drops from Tower Sabotages. They might not always be primes, but they can drop from the void caches inside the actual mission. And that's what you want. You want as many drops as you can possibly get. Personally, I love these things. Put on a fire rate mod and put on a multi-shot mod and just watch your hands somehow weave a magical web of just metal mayhem. Alright, and on to the next one. Where are you? You're somewhere, I know you are, because this is the codex and it has everything. There it is, Lex Prime. Now, Lex Prime is actually one of the absolute best secondaries in the entire game. And you can get it for around 15 plat, 10 to 15. So it is extremely cheap for an amazingly powerful handgun. Now, the reason why it's so powerful is you can see the stats right here. Crit chance and status chance are both 25%, so you can build this thing any way you want. The only thing that actually out damages it per shot is the Vacor Marilock, which you can get from Steel Meridian. Now, the Lex Prime is right here. Alright, cool. It's on this paper. Sorry. Now, the blueprint drops from T3 Survival Rotation C or T3 Defense Rotation B. The barrel is Tower 3 Capture, and the receiver is Tower 1 Capture. Personally, I would say just pay the 15 plat and get it in your inventory. Because the actual effort you have to go through might prove a little bit difficult for when you're first starting out. However, the reason why I say this is a good beginner starter prime is just solely because of the fact that you can get it for so dirt cheap. On the Xbox One, at least, you can get it for 10 or 15 plat, depending on who actually... it's like, want to buy Lex Prime, and you say 10, 15, or something like that. You'll generally get a hit immediately, because people want to get rid of it. It suffers from the Burston Prime syndrome, as it were. But the Lex Prime, in of itself, is an amazingly powerful handgun. You cannot do much better than it, believe it or not, stat-wise. Now, I'm not sure what actual, weapons are on PC that can actually rival it, or anything else. This is just what we have to work with on the Xbox One. Alright. Now, on to the next one. I know, Nakana Prime, it's so freaking amazing, but that's not what we're going for. we're going for the Orthos Prime. Now, the Orthos Prime is an interesting melee in the sense that it was one of the very few melees to actually get hit with the Nerf hammer inside this game. So that shows you how good it actually used to be. And still actually is. It is still a viable melee. All they really did was they toned down the attack speed and they kind of just took the damage off just very slightly. But this weapon is still amazingly powerful when actually put modded right. The interesting thing is again, this is about 20 to 25 flat, so you don't have to worry too much about it putting a dent in your pocket. Literally, if you buy the Prestige Pack, which is in the market for $10 for 170 plat, you can literally get every prime that I am actually talking about, except for one. And that will be at the end of the video, because we're doing weapons here. The Orthos Prime drops from, the blueprint drops from T2 Exterminates. The handle drops from T2 caps as well as the blades. So, no matter what, if you're doing a T2 capture, a Tower 2 capture as it were, you will honestly actually have an increased chance of getting an Orthos part that you actually need. The only thing I can say about the Orthos as a whole is it is one of the more underrated melee weapons. Everybody loses their mind over war, broken war, and so on and so forth. While the Orthos is kind of just like, hey guys, I'm here too. Give it the love that it deserves. Spend the 20 plat. Or just grind for it because it's all Tower 2 stuff. Give it the love it deserves. This endorsement is embraced by Oda. Alright, now we're on to the Paris Prime. Now the Paris Prime is actually your very first taste of what it means to just one-shot everything. The only thing that I can honestly say is a pain about the Paris Prime is getting the upper limb. Now, Paris Prime, again, 20 plat. 20 to 25 plat. People will sell it to you for that amount, or maybe even less if you're lucky. The Paris Prime will drop from, the blueprint will drop from Tower 2 Defense Rotation B, 15 waves, or Tower 2 Survival Rotation C, 20 minutes. The grip is Tower 1 Capture. The string is Tower 2 Capture. The upper limb is Tower 2 Defense Rotation C or Tower 1 Survival Rotation C. Either way, for the upper limb, you're going to be investing quite a bit of time for 20 waves or 20 minutes. The lower limb is Tower 1 Survival Rotation C. Yeah, see what they did there? You know, feckers. And then Tower 2 Survival Rotation A. Now, if you're going for the upper limb, that is actually the most expensive part. And if I were you, I would just try and buy the set. If it's proving too much of a nuisance to actually get, I would just go out and buy the set. Just get it done and over with. And that way you'll be better off and you can actually start things off properly. I believe that was the last... No! There we go. The Sindo Prime. I forgot all about this because reasons. Sindo Prime. This is the second most expensive beginner thing I can actually say. You can buy this for at the lowest I would say 30 plat and at the most 50 plat. Yeah, it's gonna flux like that. And the reason for that is because the blueprint is the rarest part, and that drops from Tower 1 Exterminates. The blade drops from Tower 3 Sabotages or Tower 2 Mobile Defenses, and the handle drops from Tower 1 Sabs or Tower 1 Survival's Rotation C. Excuse me. Now, the thing is like I said prior for the Orthos, and I believe I said it for the Hiku as well, if you need a part in general, always make sure you check either the links below or just rewind the video where the sabotages are. Because sabotages, again, give you many, many drops to actually get what you need. So, for the blade, T3 Sab, you have a chance at walking away with three blades because they drop from the caches. The handle, same thing. I actually had an experience where I got 4 Sindo handles in one run. I guess you could say they handled it to me. Oh, I am sorry, I just lost all my views right there. Right. Apologies if you're seeing please connect your Xbox One controller. I actually have it plugged in right now, and my actual cord is just kind of going out a little bit. So that'll actually do it for the Sindo. The Sindo itself, I feel if you have the Orthos, you might lose a bit of love for the Sindo just because of the fact of how slow it might swing. but it does do more damage per swing than the Orthos. It's just the Orthos is a lot faster. So it's all a matter of, do you want this big heavy axe or do you want to swing like a polearm? So that's up to you guys on what you actually want. Now, the one thing I can say right now is, I don't want to sort it by rank, stop that. The beginner prime, like the epitome of beginner prime, Volt Prime. Now, the reason for this is because, believe it or not, Volt does not have anything that is actually too hard to farm. It's just that it's a rare drop. That's it. Volt himself is the most expensive thing I can actually say for this. He'll run you around 80 to 100 plat to buy outright. However, here's his drops. Tower 2 cap or Tower 4 cap for the blueprint. The chassis is Tower 2 sabotage. The systems is Tower 1 survival rotation C or Tower 2 exterminate. And the helm is Tower 2 exterminate or T3 survival rotation B. The systems are the rarest part, I believe. Or it's the chassis. It's one of the two. Hang on. Let me go take a look real quick at what I'm missing on my Volt set, and I will be able to tell you exactly what it is. Oh, it's got to be all the way at the bottom because alphabet. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's the chassis. Okay. And the chassis is Tower 2 sabotages. Now, the thing is Volt is the most expensive thing here because of his drop rate on his chassis. However, it is not that hard to get because, again, sabotages have the most drop rates. Now, Volt himself is actually a really good frame. Even before he got a rework, he was a really good frame to start out with. Of course, there were people who, there were frames and weapons and stuff like that that overshadowed him and so on and so forth, but that's kind of how it goes. Stop sorting by rank, go back to name, please. So, Volt Prime, in of himself, is an amazing actual starter frame because he will actually give you the sense of fashion and just, he'll actually make you feel like you're doing pretty well while you're trying to figure out which groove you want to settle into, because there's quite a bit of different playstyles here. But as a whole, that will actually be all of the beginners that I can actually give out. Again, like I said before at the beginning of the video, be sure to check the description below because there will be 2 links there that will actually give you the entire drop guide if you want to look for something in particular, or if you're wondering if something is certain weapon is vaulted or anything of that nature. Now, I would like to say this right now as a disclaimer at the end here because, why not? This is not a full guide. This will not be a full drop guide. This is just solely to get you off your feet. I want to be able to actually give you guys the proper amount of information to make you want to play this game more. I'm not going to give a full guide because, for one, that would actually consume so much, and I would have to re-edit it every 3 months when something goes in and comes out, and so on and so forth, including different types of events that they'll have, like when they bring something vaulted out, like they did with Frost Prime, and so on and so forth, and that would just be a nightmare to just be like, oh, hey, here's the re-edit, here's the re-edit, here's the re-edit. So instead, I'm just going to make this one solid video to start you off with, and if you need anything else, all the information is there for you. Now, I'm going to say this right now, not every Prime is the end-all be-all. You got to make sure you actually test it. You got to make sure you see what feels right to you. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, this Prime is amazing, this Prime sucks, this weapon is great, this weapon is bad, and so on and so forth. Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody else tell you what you want. If you're looking for information, make sure that you find it from a credible source or somebody who's willing to actually sit down and talk to you about it. I swear to God, my tongue gets tired more times while I'm trying to record than anything else in the history of mankind. So, as always, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, leave a like, comment what you want to see in the next video. Please leave a like and everything else. And if you like this, please support me by subscribing and everything else. Remember, only you can keep the order. Join Oda's order today. Yes, I nailed it. Take care, everyone, and be safe.